Hey guys, it's BasanaFan6454 and today I'm going to be doing, I shouldn't really say quick because I don't know how long this is going to take, a raspberry wine inspired makeup look inspired by another Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink Liquid Lipstick. This color came out, I believe it was about a year and a half ago with the City collection. This color is called Artist. It is a beautiful raspberry kind of winey berry shade. I absolutely love colors like this. They make my eyes pop. Anyone with green or blue eyes, it really just makes that color pop. So I'm going to do a quick look inspired by that. And if you guys want to follow along, stay tuned. So I already have my astringent applied, my Clean and Clear Deep Cleaning Astringent for acne prone skin. So I have this on. My skin is nice and dry and ready to put makeup on top of it. So I moved everything way too far over on my heater. Cool. Starting with my normal powder, my MAC Studio Fix in NW20. If you see any writing on my wrist, don't mind it. Don't pay attention to it. I'm hoping to get a tattoo on my wrist in the next couple of years, and I have what I want written on my wrist, just to get used to seeing it there. So this is my usual kabuki brush from Spa Resorts that I've had for many years. And I'm just using this to buff in my powder. This is my second attempt at filming this. First time I filmed, my mother called. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did put powder on my eyelids. I usually tend to do that because I do have very oily lids, and if I wear makeup for a long period of time, sometimes the oils on my lids like to seep through even my primer and, you know, start breaking down my shadows, making it crease, all that good stuff. So I kind of like to, sorry, falling out of frame. I kind of like to keep that from happening. So moving on, let's get to contouring. I'm going to go in with my usual contouring powder, my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil. Love, love, love this stuff. And the brush that I'm using is by EcoTools. I have no idea what kind of brush this is. I haven't seen it in a while. The label has faded, so I have no idea what this is. I think this is like the Skin Perfecting angle brush or something like that. No idea. So I'm just contouring out my cheeks. I don't need a mirror for this because I can see the cut of my cheekbones pretty well in my camera. I'm also going to go underneath my jawline as I usually do to kind of get a good shape for my chin. I'm not going to lower my hairline down too much. I usually don't. But just enough so I can see a little bit of contour work done. Alright, now I'm caught up with where I was before. So, since I've decided not to use limited edition products on my channel, especially if you guys can't get them anymore, I'm going to highlight with my Morphe 35W palette. I'm using Morphe because I think it's a decent company. I don't have a code. Obviously my channel's not big enough for me to have a code. But I'm going to go in with this shade here called Buff on my little sponge. And taking a little bit of it, and I'm just going to go underneath my eyes. Because I don't have concealer that goes light enough. If you guys haven't seen my other tutorials, I use powder to highlight under my eyes. I'm also going to highlight my chin. I'm also going to highlight up here. I'm not going to highlight down here. I usually do, but I think that comes out a little bit too harsh. Alright. I use a dry sponge to apply this just because it works a bit better. It's easy to slap on, and I don't wear liquid foundation, so there's no need for me to wet my sponge. All right, time to highlight. I have here the Maybelline Master Chrome Metallic Highlighter. This is in the shade Molten Peach. Name is right there. I have all of the colors available in this right now. Well, that's available at my drugstore. I thought I saw a couple more at Walmart, but I'm not 100% sure. I have to check. If I can get this open. I put on some stick-on nails a couple days ago, and they're making things a lot harder to open. Oh my gosh. What is wrong with this? Ow. Okay, I got it. So that's the color right there. It is absolutely beautiful, and it's really, really blinding, as you can probably tell. It's just like a mirror. Speaking of mirrors, time for me to grab my trusty EcoTools. Ooh, I don't want to blind you. My trusty EcoTools mirror. And my Real Techniques setting brush, which I use for highlighting. Pick up some of the product. And right on top of those cheekbones. You can see that glow already. It's insane. This color looks a little bit deep on my skin tone when the light is not hitting it, but when the light does hit it, it's absolutely beautiful. I would recommend this color on deeper, like medium to deep skin tones. If you're too fair, if you're really fair and the light doesn't hit it, like you can kind of see, it's a little bit deeper right there. So it's just gonna look a little bit funny. I'm not the fairest person in the world, so I don't mind it, and it's not totally noticeable unless you're really looking for it, but it can be a bit of a problem. All right, now the bridge of my nose. All right. Now time to put on some blush. I'm going to be using one of my newer blushes that I haven't worn much yet. This is by MAC. This is a mineralized blush, my second mineralized blush. And this is in the shade Petal Power. It is a gorgeous kind of golden pink color. I love colors like this. They're one of my favorite blush colors to wear. It's very similar to like NARS Orgasm, which I also have. And if you guys don't know, that color is one of the most famous blushes out there. Alright, now I'm just going to tap this in between my contour and my highlight just to kind of bring that life back. And you can kind of see that pinkness starting to show up. It's a very, very faint color, but it's absolutely beautiful. That's stunning. Alright. Picking up some more. This blush brush is the brush that I've been using for the last little while on my channel. This is by Sephora. And I just realized that my contour is a little bit heavy right here. So I'm just going to take my powder brush and just blend it back. Make it a little bit softer. Alright. So that's my blush done. Time for the lips. My lip scrub of the day is, as usual, by Jeffree Star, and this is the Orange Soda lip scrub. I use, what do I use to apply this? When I have my nails on, I can't like get my finger in, so I need a different brush to apply this. Actually, I use the end of a brush to apply this. So this is an old Estee Lauder brush. I'm just going to use the back end of it and just smear it. This one, Orange Soda, is one of the best ones that he's ever launched. Smells and tastes amazing. It's fizzy. just gonna tear off any excess because my lips have been super chapped lately. It's going into winter. It's almost Christmas here. Well, it's almost Christmas everywhere, but it's getting colder, and Newfoundland winters can be either very dry and cold or very wet and cold. And either way, my lips are going to get very, very chapped. All right, so going in with my Artist lipstick. See that? I love that. All right, I overdrew my lips a little bit too much. You know what? We will push through. We will be okay. All right, eyes. So going in with my usual MAC Painterly Paint Pot, and I know I usually apply this with my fingers, but with these nails, girl, I can't. So I'm gonna go in with the same brush that I used to apply my brow powder, the Urban Decay Naked brush. This time I'm going in with this side. As you can see, it's been used for this, and it's just a little bit easier. Sounds like my dog is up. I wonder if he'll come in and say hi to you guys. I hope he does. He's a sweet boy. And I might go in with my finger after this and just kind of smooth it. Okay. I feel a sneeze coming on. Okay. Now, I'm gonna go back in with my Morphe palette. And with the same brush that I used to set, this is the brush that came with the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette, and back in with the shade Buff right here. Whoop. And this is just gonna set this base down. And now I'm gonna go back in with this Urban Decay brush, but I'm going to use the other side and go on with this deep brown here. It's called Untainted. Yes, Untainted. And this is going to fill in my eyebrows. I don't use any pomades or brow pencils, brow gels. I don't do anything like that. Just use a little bit of eyeshadow to fill it in. That's it. Okay, so I want to start this eyeshadow look with something a little bit bright. So I'm going to go in with the Alyssa Edwards palette by Anastasia. And I'm going to go into the shade Texas Made, which is this hot pink right up here. I'm winging this look as per usual. I have no idea what this is going to turn into. But I kind of want this to be like bright pink and berry all up in the crease and then gold on the lid. So let's see. Here it is on my MAC 217 brush. And I'm just going to pop this right in my crease. Hoo boy. If you guys haven't seen or used this palette, you guys need to try this. This palette is absolutely amazing. This color is absolutely amazing. This is the eyeshadow that I wore all over my eye when I went to see Trixie Mattel live when she came here a couple months ago. My first and only drag show that I've been to. And I had an absolute blast. She was so funny. And I wanted to wear pink to support her because her and her love for pink. This color's coming off a lot brighter on camera than it actually looks. It's coming off a lot more neon, but it's actually a little bit muted because I'm using a softer brush and a softer method of application. I'm sorry if I keep looking up. There's not a lot of space left on my iPad, and I'm just afraid that the recording's gonna stop. Let's go on the other side. And this is as far up as I want this eyeshadow to go right now. If I want to buff it up, I will. I probably will end up buffing it up because, let's face it, this eyeshadow's already starting to go up. Let's just take it up a little bit. Actually, it has buffed up a little bit. You just can't see it. All right. I'm just dipping into the product every now and then. I'm not like loading up my brush with the color. I'm just tapping in a little bit at a time because I don't want it to look messy. I just want it to add a little bit at a time and just keep building as I go. And this is looking pretty good so far. I'm liking this. This is not super, super, super bright, so this is going to tone down later. Okay. That is what I want. All right. Now I'm gonna go in with my Jeffree Star Jawbreaker palette. I love this. Absolutely love, 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 love this palette. And I'm gonna go in with the shade Raspberry right here. It's just something really deep. Something that's gonna deepen this look up. I'm just gonna clean off my brush. This is the brush that I'm using. This is the EcoTools Accent Shadow Brush. Kind of flat, but thin on one side. So I'm just gonna dip in to Raspberry. I'm sorry, I have my palette way too far over. Load up my brush with the color and just plop it right here on the outer edges of my eye. I'm not doing the same kind of shaped look that I've been doing the last couple tutorials. I'm doing, how do I put this? Something a little bit more to my eye shape. And this is just gonna go into my crease later. I'm just gonna blend this in and over. See? It's deepening the entire look up. Now let's put this on the other side. I am going to go in with a deeper color again in a moment to really add to this. Make it a bit deeper and dramatic. Now I'm going to turn the brush upside down and I'm sticking it in my crease and just really working it over and deepening it even further into Texas Made. Let's do that. All right, she did that. Cool. So that is what I want my eye to look like right now. I'm gonna set that to the side, and I'm gonna go in with the Blood Sugar palette. This palette took me a year to get my hands on. It just kept selling out, and whenever it would come back in stock, it would be the day before my payday, and I wouldn't always miss out on it because it would sell out by the time I had money to pay for it. All right, so now I'm gonna go into the shade Coma right here. I know it looks kind of purpley, but it is a little bit more berry-ish. And this is going to go right in my crease just to deepen this whole thing up even more. I don't know if you can see the depth that this is adding, but you might see it when I post this look on Instagram. It's just adding a little bit more drama. Can you see the difference? Yeah, you can. Cool. And I don't know if you guys haven't seen Jeffree's reveal video for this palette, or any of his palettes that have like pressed pigments. Just be really careful if you have sensitive eyes, because the pinks, purples, and reds can stain because of the red dyes in them. So just be really, really careful. Be really wary. Alright, that is exactly what I'm looking for. I think I need to go back into Texas Made. Actually, no, I don't. I do not need to go back in with that, because that's just going to make it a little bit too bright. Alright. Now, what am I going to do? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in with the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered Palette. This is the most expensive piece of makeup that I own. This was so expensive. I'm going to go in with the shade 24K, which is this gold right here. And I'm going to use my finger to apply this, because that's the only way I can get this on. And I'm just going to press it on my lid like that. And I am going to go back in with my other colors and clean this up, but this is just kind of packing it on. That's what I want. I am going to go over it with a bit of a lighter gold, just so I can kind of add a bit of dimension to this look. I don't really know how to work with these metallics, and without using my fingers, because none of my brushes want to work with them. But when I use my fingers, it just looks amazing. Yeah, this is exactly what I want. This eye, I don't know what the camera's doing for it, but this is exactly what I'm looking for. I do need to go back in and clean this one up a little bit. Alright, washcloth, dry washcloth. I'm just going to wipe my finger off. You can kind of still see a little bit of that gold on there, but you know what? Who cares? I'm just going to go in with my 217 brush that still has a little bit of residue from Texas Made, and I'm just going to buff in. There we go. It's much cleaner. Cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my pencil brush, again, that I used to put coma on. This was the liner smudge brush, by the way. Sorry, I didn't tell you what brush that was. I'm going to stick with this palette, this Huda palette. I'm going to go in with the shade Risque. I don't think I've ever used this color yet, like actually on my eyes. I've swatched it, but this is going to go underneath my eyes, just to add some color. Nothing too intense. This is definitely a very muted shade, but it definitely adds a little bit of that berry tone underneath my eyes. Gorgeous. Cool. Alright, now time to highlight. I'm going to use the Modern Renaissance palette right here from Anastasia. I'm going to use the palette mirror for this because I have no patience to keep putting palettes down and picking up my mirror. So the two shades I'm going to use to highlight are Tempera right here and Vermeer right here. So I'm going to use both of those on my little Spa Resource brush. I'm starting with Tempera, don't know how to pronounce it, and this is going to go up here above my brow bone. Just giving myself a little bit of that highlight, and this is going to soften everything that's up here already. this brush kind of blends everything out for me. I don't really need to do too much work. I don't need to grab another brush and soften it. It's just, actually, as I said that, I jinxed it and I put too much on. So my Sephora blending brush that has no product on it, soften that down. All right, now in with Vermeer in my inner corner. Like that. All right. Last two steps, eyeliner and mascara. Going in with my usual Maybelline Eye Studio. I have had a really bad case of the dropsies lately. I don't know what is wrong with me. And I also don't know where my brush is. This is great. Oh, there it is. All right. I don't need my mirror for this. This is just gonna go right in my waterline. I'm sorry if this scares you. This eyeliner is creamy. It's not so creamy that it slides off after a while. I find I have MAC Black Chalk Fluid Line, and I find that that one likes to slide off on me very, very easily. And look at that, I got eyeliner in my eye. Great. There we go. All right. Now for my mascara, my usual lash curler from Revlon. This thing is so old. I probably need a new one. Curling your lashes, guys, honestly just takes practice. It's really scary when you first start doing it, especially if you pinch your eye, because you know that hurts. And I just pinched my eyelid, and my eyes are gonna start watering now. Great. And my mascara. This is the Rimmel Volume Colorist mascara. I don't know if they still make this. Probably tells you how old this mascara is. All right. So, final step. My MAC Fix Plus. Let that set in. So, that is my look inspired by the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink Liquid Lipstick in the shade Artist. If you have any questions or concerns, please leave them in the comments below. And if you have any requests for future looks, also please leave them below. I will post a photo of this on my Instagram so you can see how it looks up close. I think it came out pretty good. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Stay tuned for my next tutorial, and I will see you guys soon. Have a great day, guys. Bye!